Bitcoin has officially entered a short-term downtrend. In this video, I'm not only going to prove that to you, but I'm also going to show you why that is not the worst news in the world and give you some target areas to buy. What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Anthony, and if you are new here and you have not subscribed yet, please make sure to do that in the bottom right corner if you're someone who's serious about including cryptocurrency into your overall wealth building strategy. And before I dive into the video, let's just talk about how quickly the landscape of cryptocurrency has changed. I mean, just 2 weeks ago, we were talking about huge upside moves in Litecoin, which did play out. By the way, I was very happy about that. Hopefully you made some money on that if you watched one of those videos. Then we talked about Ethereum, life-changing altcoin gains. Everyone's all excited about alt season. And then all of a sudden, 3 days ago, fear and doubt. And then in the thumbnail of this video, you saw Bitcoin dumps again after we had not only one, but two crashes this week. And naturally, Bitcoin being the largest cryptocurrency in the world dragged the whole rest of the market down with it, as we are now sitting firmly below the $2 trillion market cap as an asset class. And at the time of this recording, Bitcoin is trading at $37,168. And we're going to talk all about what's been happening on the charts here. But before we do that, I want to explain to you why we are in a downtrend. So what I'm about to do for you is to use the Thomas Bulkowski 1-2-3 trend change method. And if you're unfamiliar with his work, he's written a bunch of great books on TA. I've read this one. I've also read this one. And I've learned a lot from his teachings. He talks a lot about classic TA and chart patterns, which are all applicable to the cryptocurrency world. So basically, what needs to happen for this to be valid, for an uptrend to be negated and for it to turn into a downtrend, is that you have to have an uptrend to begin with. And the trend line we're going to be using in this video began back in December of 2020, and we just recently fell off on Wednesday of this week. So when we talk about the 1-2-3 method, what do we mean? Now, the first thing to validate this is that the asset has to fall below the trend. The second thing that needs to happen is it needs to try and break back into the trend line but fail. And the third thing that needs to happen is the asset needs to fall below the low at letter B here, right? And that's how we get confirmation that the uptrend is over. And so if we look at Bitcoin here, we can see that we fell below the trend line here. We tried to break back above it, then we dumped harder, and right here on really May 15th, the 1-2-3 trend change method is in full effect here. Now we are in a downtrend. So what does that mean for you? Is it the worst thing in the world? Well, yes and no. If you haven't been taking profits on the way up, I'm sure you could be in some financial and also emotional pain right now. This is why I always preach on this channel to take some profits on the way up. I myself have some long-term Bitcoin that I will pretty much never be selling, probably ever. But I have also cashed out my initial investment plus some profits. I've made videos about that on this channel, and I always suggest that people do that because it hurts a lot when you watch these things decline and you watch them decline fast and you never truly know where the bottom is going to be. But I will say this, the good news is that this downtrend is extremely steep right now. And one thing that we know about trend lines is the steeper that they are, the less sustainable they are over time. So if there is a silver lining here, folks, it's that I don't believe this downtrend is going to last, certainly not at this pace, forever. So let's take a closer look at it. We can potentially come up to this downward sloping line. So the one thing I really want you guys to know in this video is I'm not a perma bear right now. I do not think the bull run is necessarily over. It could be, that's a possibility, but I don't think it is. I think we're going to have a lot of support, and I do think it will take some time, but I think it's very possible that we're going to start climbing up and see new highs inside of 2021. I think we're going to break this 64,000 mark. This is not financial advice. This is just my gut, right? But even if we don't, even if this is a bear market, I want you to understand that we currently have this declining line here. And so what will likely happen is Bitcoin will probably bounce around. Maybe we bounce a little lower, but eventually it's going to try, right? It's going to attempt to break out of the downtrend. It's going to have at least one good go at this overhead diagonal resistance line, right? And the top of that, the good news about that is this line here is right around $50,000. So the good news is, I think there's an extremely high probability that Bitcoin at some point within the next, let's say 3 weeks or a month, it's going to come back and retest the $50,000 level. Now, whether you want to swing trade that or buy now and hold for the long term or panic sell now, which I don't suggest doing, right now, that's totally up to you. But I think it's very possible that Bitcoin will come and retest this line. Now, let's talk about if you should be buying, and I want to talk about potential support levels if we dip even lower than this, because right now we are in what is known as a descending channel. So take a look at this. I've been watching this for some time now, and this descending channel can be traced back to May 10th. Right, so you can see we've been bouncing around inside of this channel. Tried to break down here. We had a really low wick here on a candle which looked bullish. We tried to push out, but we couldn't, right? And now we fell to the bottom of the channel. We wicked below it, and now we're starting to push back up. So what's that mean? In order for us to break out, if Bitcoin were to break out of this channel today, we would need to break above, let's see here, we would need to break above, let's say about $40,000 at this point, because remember, over time, that level gets lower and lower, and these are 4-hour candles that we're seeing. So to break out today, we would need to get back up above $40,000. Now, if that doesn't happen, if we try and retest it and fall lower, we could be seeing $35,000 again. And by the way, in this video, and I'm not going to be one of those YouTubers who shows you the proof, but you can go watch it. I'll put the link up here. Right, in this video, we talked about both of these levels, which I felt really happy about because I'm always happy when I can give you guys accurate information. But we did talk about $35,000, and I said if that broke, I did say this, you can watch, we could be looking at sub $30,000 or $30,000 Bitcoin. I said anything lower than that was very unlikely, which was really accurate. I'm not always that accurate, but I feel great about that when I can be for you guys, and I try my best to bring you quality content. So what I want to tell you now is this looks like it could be, hopefully, a higher low. Like if you can see that this wick here, wick down to about 33,600, and this one over here was really 30,000. So that is potentially a higher low. Now we've got to see if we can break out of here and get a higher high and get up to this level here, which let's say around 43,000. We had some resistance over there. We've got to see if we can push up to that point. Oh, also, let me know, just as a side note, I wanted to make sure I mentioned this. Hey, give the video a like just in general if you find value in this, just to help it rank. There are so many Bitcoin videos that are being made nowadays. So, if you find value in this one, just help the channel out, hit the like button. But also, let me know in the comments section. One thing that I'm really thinking about doing is starting live streams. Let me know if you want me to do weekly or even multiple times a week. We could hang out for an hour or two and look at the charts together, talk about the news. Let me know if you'd be interested in seeing that from me on this channel. I'm curious to see what you guys think. But anyway, yeah, that's what kind of you could look forward to on the upside. But if we were to fall lower, right, if we were just to fall on the bottom of this channel here, you can see that it would be possible to fall back down to, let's say, about $33. We could retest this low here very easily. And if we fell below that, and if I scroll over, I'll go to the daily candles here. If I scroll a little bit over, you can see we had some resistance and then support at this level here, which is $35,000, which we spoke about. We've got 29. And our next significant level below that is right here at roughly $24,000. So I'm telling you guys, one of the things I said I do for you in this video is give you guys some target areas to buy. If you're looking to go long, that would be a best case scenario. If you want to set some limit orders down by 24,000, knowing that they probably won't fill, but that there's a chance they could, you might get really lucky. I do think that would most likely be the floor if this isn't a bear market. Also, if this isn't a bear market, then this is just a short-term downtrend. And I know I probably scared some of you by saying we're in a downtrend, but we could break out of that pretty soon. Right, so those are the levels you can be looking at on the downside. I also just want to say, if you don't own any Bitcoin at all yet, all of these levels right now are potentially really good buying levels. There are many people in this world, including the editor of one of the newsletters that I subscribe to, who think Bitcoin is going up to not only $100,000, but $150,000, $200,000, $300,000, $400,000, or $500,000. inside of the next 5 years. So yes, it's a speculative play, but there is potential major upside. So what we always do, is we take our disposable income, just a couple $100, maybe $1,000, whatever you can afford to lose. That's very critical. And you can take a chance on Bitcoin because there's a lot of strength in this market. You've got some big names buying. Michael Saylor bought more. Tom Brady, football legend, is getting in on this now. Tesla says they've got diamond hands and they're not selling, right? There's a lot of underlying strength in this market, and Bitcoin could easily come back to retest and break its all-time highs. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the ride, and I'll see you guys in the next one.